Ziggity Zig has figured out a name for this series, and it's going to be Tales from the Ladder. That's supposed to sound fake, spooky, which is kind of what it is. So that is how we are going to work it. So the Tales from the Ladder is going to be just the random series where every now and then I will get a replay, and when I get a replay, I will try and cast it as soon as possible. So it's always cold cast because good times usually ensue from that, except when the recording breaks and I have to do it a second time and sound like I'm listening to it for the first time, which I'm invariably good at because I have no short-term memory. Are we all paying attention? Good. This is when Wookie decides to rally his probe from his nexus way the crap over here. Now, where the hell? Oh, okay, he was just going over here. Fair enough. It wasn't going all the way across the map. I thought it was going to be some awesome cheese build, but there you go. So this is a replay sent to me by Wookie, who's up against Kevin. I mean, I love basic nicknames, you know, like Wookie. That's just one of the best nicknames you can get. You know, I love simplistic things like that. Second to that are, you know, fun things that are a bit more interesting, like Ziggity Zig or That Guy Griff or UCMOP. Am I a bit biased towards me and my friends? Yes, obviously, but when it comes to, I mean, and the third place, the third place probably does go to the, you know, noob spelt with two zeros, noob 106, or, you know, 420 YOLO, those kind of guys that always have those stupid things, or, you know, Zerg Killa spelled with the A in the end, and it's like randomized uppercase, lowercase. Those would be third as my third favorite nicknames. And then last place, not too far behind the doofuses with that, is boredom. Because at least Zerg Killa or, you know, Noobtastic YOLO 420, at least they're trying to be creative. You know, they're failing, but they're just trying to be a little bit different. Like, oh man, I'm going to really spice things up and be kind of interesting. So at least they'd be enthusiastic and interesting to talk to. But when you meet a guy who says, well, what's your username? Kevin. That's just, it reminds me of that Chris Rock bit where he talks about, oh, black people are different in the United States and in Canada. I met black people in Canada. It was just different. It was just a completely different style, because you talk to a black guy in the States and you say, hey, what's your name? And he's all like, Jermaine! And then you talk to a black guy in Canada and you say, hey, what's your name? And he says, Grover. It's just not that same kind of level of intensity. So you say, hey man, what's your name? Kevin. Oh, I'm Kevin. This is my online personality. Welcome to Kevin's Corner, where we're gonna talk some StarCraft. So today on Kevin's Corner, we're gonna make a second barracks, because with a second production facility, you can actually make twice as many units. Once I get a bit more Vespine gas, because Kevin would totally refer to it as its full title of Vespine gas and not just gas. As soon as I get enough Vespine gas up here, I will be able to build a reactor, and then one single barracks can actually be producing twice as many barracks as it could without the reactor on it. That's how it duplicates. I cannot do the Kevin Kaz. No, we're not doing a Kevin Kaz. Well, it's a Tales from Kevin's Ladder. Also, check out Wookie's awesome the Lime Not Levin logo spinning in the back of there. Does Kevin even belong to a clan? No, Kevin has no clan. Kevin needs no clan. Kevin totally needs a clan, please. If you have a clan and you want to invite Kevin into your clan, please just give the guy a break. I know it looks like he doesn't have a lot of creativity, but come on, he just needs some friends. He just needs some friends. Let's talk about the game. What the hell is going on? We got two barracks up here. Wookie's going for kind of it's mostly a kind of a one-gate expansion without the expansion. But now we're going to go with gate expansion, so maybe this is a bit of a rope-a-dope. He's just showing that perhaps there's something here at the border, but the problem is that with that scanner sweep, or what the hell do they call it now, the comsat, I don't know, I think it's still scanner sweep. He can bypass this front line and the fake no nexus here, buddy. Don't worry about me maneuver, but he's also getting down a couple of cannons. No cannon in here, just in case of the cloaked Banshee hopping in behind. But of course, from Wookie's perspective, what Kevin has, aside from a kind of boring name, is he's just getting one gas, and he's just got the two supply depots. However, what Kevin sees is absolutely hill damn squat. So I believe at this point Wookie may have made it into silver, but Kevin, I believe, is the bronze player. Let's just do the EPM check, and whoa! I'm not laughing on Kevin's slow APM. I'm definitely not laughing at 14 EPM. I'm definitely not. Come on, it's got to be. No, it's 19 in the APM meter. Okay, that's fine. The best part about this is Wookie gives me the best advice. The best advice. He gives me such excellent advice for all of my replays. I'm like, oh yeah, I never thought of that. No, yeah, I should definitely scout this and that. But dude, you're sitting at 100. Cybernetic scores a quarter done. There we go. Get that boost. Get that boost. So let's have a look here. Kevin is ahead in supply, but I believe. Oh, there we go. He's getting double. Oh yeah, double research going on there. Double upgrades for his Marine Marauders. No factory. No starport for some medevacs. Any kind of medevac Marine drop, but that's okay. Cause when you're playing here and you got a tech lab, and you can put a tech lab, and you can start researching combat shield, and that does really well. And then +1, and you got a couple of upgrades for your walking units. Here are your walkers up here, and we'll just get them out here. And there's good timing on my supply depot because I'm almost supply cap, but I'm not quite. And then we go back to the excitement of Wookie's realm over here, where he's got a couple of Void Rays out, and you know. If you're going to sneak the Void Rays around back, then yeah, I mean, this is a pretty hot front line we're looking at right here, but there are... Are there no ground units right now for Wookie? Oh my god, he's fucking... I love this so much! There we go, he's got 2 zealots on the way now, so eventually getting there. Oh, still no expand! This is just such a good time. So, it's pretty much a cannons only out the front, and then 100% of gas. There's the scan, and the scan does see Mothership Core... Double Stargate. Oh, so now he's aware of that. Getting a little bit of the research. Oh, that's probably what was going on. But there's no boost going into the research, and I guess the 100% of the boost is going into a lot of Void Rays. So Kevin does not know how many Void Rays he's up against. He knows that he's got a couple of Zealots down here. The problem is the Void Rays are not really going to have the effect that you want. I would say Oracles would be better against this bio unit because Void Rays are excellent against single target type thing, and well, with that now being charged up on targets, they'd probably mow through a few of them, but I think you're going to want more than 3, probably even more than 4, and really at this point, what is going on with the income levels? I'm just kind of... Alright, so we got 58 over there. Probably want to work a little bit more on the macro, but aside from that, everyone's having a good time. There we go. Finally, well, not finally, but did manage to get down the expansion just here, not popping down. Actually, it does pop down just a single gas, just kind of be ready to go. And here comes the units. Here we go. They're slowly making their way across. With absolutely nothing in behind. The factory, the tech lab did get there, and oh, a tank is on the way. Oh, we have an armory for tank upgrades, also known as tank grades, which is what a tank receives on its report card, and invariably they are all A for armor. I don't know where that train of thought was going, but let's just get off at the station now. These units right now, the army supply is quite a bit high, but when you come up against this... I'm thinking that this high ground photon cannon is going to be the hero of the day. Oh, look at that scan right in there. So, I think Kevin's pretty much ready. He knows what he's going up against. He knows that he can just pinch that. And I think, oh, do they have No, they do not have stim. There's one single oracle is going to wander his way around, and that single oracle is going to do quite a lot of damage over here once he gets in. There we go. Okay, taking a look at the army in the middle, and the army in the middle is still not moving anywhere, but the oracle is coming out. Doesn't see anything in behind of the natural base, but comes over here and is about to come across a bunch of really juicy SCVs and get 1 kill, 3 kills, still no movement here in the middle, 6 kills, 7, we can just watch all that juicy action up here, 10 kills, dropping them all down. There's a tank here in the middle, and oh, now Kevin moves his workers out of the way, finally getting the, that is the ziggity-zig method of awareness on your units, where you have 19 kills right now, and there's absolutely nothing right now being worked on. Oh yeah, so there are no workers up there in the main base. The natural has not quite finished building, and Wookie decides very cleverly to get that oracle out of there. Still pretty much full, not even a dip in the shields. Kevin's still thinking about these units here in the middle. Oh, right, we need to go. I love the turning and looking to each other. All like, hey, you want to go over here? I want to go over here. Let's go over here. The tank leading the way, because as everyone knows, the tank should be the first thing in and not sort of sit at the back. And attack things from long distances, and in fact, if he gets these Marines up this hill, then the tank can start shelling. There we go, and the attack starts hitting up against these photon cannons. Attack doing a little bit of damage against the ground units, but it doesn't look like the Void Rays are really able to pick off the individual units there, and that was kind of an interesting last-minute force field, and now he's going to move in over top of the force field where he can't actually take advantage of the fact that they are now pincered, but they're stuck on a ramp, and these Void Rays are doing a bit of damage, but it does look like this amount of units, they do, I think they get a stim off. Yes, they do get a stim off and cut through the Void Rays, and oh dear, that is pretty devastating, but he didn't manage to get rid of as much as he wanted to, so in fact the army supply is about on par, because this amount of units, this is pretty sentry heavy at the moment, and I think if Kevin were just deciding to do anything about it, then he would be able to. Oh man, so now Wookie just have a look at the natural, but he probably would be able to march up here and do a little bit more, but if you look at the income tab right now, Wookie is quite a bit ahead, even getting quite a lot of gas, because when Kevin moved all of his army, all of his units back here, then they didn't get back into the gas geyser, and this Oracle stuck around a little too long, and now he's not getting microed out of there. Oh, survives with 4 hit points. Hero Oracle comes back. These units here at the front are being multitasked to the hilt. Wookie actually still managing to continue building additional Void Rays. Still 2 Void Rays being chucked out at the same time. Is deep into the gas there, so still managing to get all of these units out here. So now back up to 4 Void Rays, which up against this particular army, 4 Void Rays is going to be enough. 1 Guardian Shield, and this is done. Here come 2 additional Marines, and well, no, it's a small number of more Marines down here. If you now up to 3 tanks, which if he leapfrogs, and I'm not putting it past 18 EPM to leapfrog these tanks and move their way up the ramp here, but now you got a 4 HP Oracle right here up on the high ground. But now is when, there we go, so he does see this, and that 1 tank that did not quite get leapfrogged in the way that you'd want to get it leapfrogged, so Kevin does see kind of what's going on, but Wookie definitely sees what's happening up here, and he does manage to take out a 2nd tank. That's just absolutely killer. And these does pick off 1 Void Ray with the Marines, and that is pretty damaging. But these, there we go, and a couple more. There we go. The last minute, the kind of preventative force fields of tough guy, bring it. The force field that he can't even see because he has no units up the ramp. But the next thing that's going to happen now is, oh my god. The energy on the... Come on, more force fields! We'll get you one of these days. So now you want to leapfrog this one up here, get a couple of Marines just up here, maybe 1 just sitting up here on the corner, and that would do it, and that would get them into this photon cannon, and here's the time where... Oh, now's the time for Guardian Shield! Now's the time for Void Rays, and the Void Rays get their charge going, and now they're going to warp their way through, but the problem is that the Guardian Shield has now diminished, but this number of Void Rays, they are able to chew through these Marines really quickly. This Oracle even getting in a couple more kills, still not dead, and of course the one thing we know that tanks cannot do... Tanks don't shoot up, no matter how hard they aim, no matter what they do, and of course Wookie, now having completely eviscerated the units on the other side, there are still actually 13 Marines, so Kevin does have a bit more that I'm giving him credit for, and now it's just going to be Oracles. So realizing that the Void Rays aren't able to chew through the Marines as fast as you'd like them to, but Void Rays... backed up with a number of Marines is probably going to do quite a bit, and I you know what? I think it's time for some. I think might be time for a little bit of little bit of economy going on down there. Now, what's happening here in Kevin country is he's managed to start gaining a bit more gas again, and then there go the mules, because 1,300 minerals is not quite enough, and you want to be getting more minerals. What you want to be doing is getting something on these 2 gas geysers, and maybe hopefully taking a 3rd, because then you can. Oh, see? There. Third and 4th is what Wookie's going on down here, because then you just want to make more Stargates! But there we go. So, getting actually the Immortals out right now, and deciding on Colossus, because... Sure. Chewing up bio units is a whole lot of fun, and what more fun to do that with than Oracle Colossus. Managing to get down to just sort of cut the path through to his 3rd base there, not deciding whether to go in the 3rd base down here or whether to go in the 3rd base up here. The answer very simply, why not both? So goes with the old both expand, now the army supply and the worker supply. The worker supply is quite a bit, is not as far ahead as I thought it would be. Probably because there's a lot of macroing back home where SCVs are being created back home for... Oh, no, there we go. So there's suddenly 21. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So this one's being mined out, and he did manage to move his workers down. So now he is mining pretty efficiently off of 2 bases, but whether he's going to be mining off of 3 bases anytime soon, there we go. So we got 4 probes right now. being produced at the same time. And here come the Immortals that he did make. So now we're just kind of waiting for just the next push by all of these armies. And now it's pretty much going to be missile turrets because someone has gone totally paranoid. Have we just totally run out of... Why? Oh, no, because, yeah, those are down. So, yeah, get all your Marines. Okay, so the Marines were a little bit confused. We're making a little bit of a tic-tac-toe pattern up here with the supply depots, and why not? More missile turrets! We need to have missile turrets. Have the missile turrets protecting the minerals that aren't even being mined. Sure, why not? Whole bunch more Marines, because a Marine who is at, I suppose you were a 2-2 Marine, and there we go. There's the third base finally comes down for Kevin, so he's on his way towards victory with more missile turrets. Really? Really? Are you the one making all three of these? Still no gas here in the natural for Kevin. What you want to do here is just got to make sure that you're really working at all of your mules and you get all of your guys mining at the same time here. And of course, when the Protoss goes air, you need pretty much missile turrets everywhere. So make sure you only get one SCV who's building missile turrets, just sort of one after another, after another, after another. And this is what we're doing. This is happening right here, and oh no, not quite able to be seen, but he's going to march his way up here, and I think, oh geez, I don't know, without much preparation, hopefully, we're going to see this Oracle, get the Pulsar Beam, I keep forgetting the name of it, there's a Pulsar Beam right there, and nope, the Oracles just sort of move over top of, but there's a couple of Guardian Shields, and this Colossus is going to be able to pick off the rest of them. The Void Rays really didn't help all that much, but I think now, the Immortal didn't really do all that well. We don't have a charge on these Zealots, which would really be wonderful, but now with a little bit of AoE from this Colossus, but I think Kevin is actually going to be able to pick off these units, and he's going to take care of this army, but now we come in with a bunch of Stalkers, and the Stalkers, oh, there's a stim from Kevin, and so I think that was kind of a badly timed stim as they move up there, but these Stalkers are slowly getting picked off one by one once more, and we are actually, the army supply is still quite a bit in Wookiee's favor, but I'm not sure precisely where they are, is because everything's being warped out, and yeah, there we go. So he did manage to get in there with a couple of Zealots just at the last minute. The Colossus was on its way out, and a couple more Void Rays, so still just Colossus Void Ray getting into the high end of action, getting into the sizable army chunks, but now with the amount of money that Wookiee is running, the income is, well, still not ridiculously in his favor, but what happens when Wookiee makes a base is he takes the friggin' gas! Come on, Kevin, get on board. More gates, you gotta, see these at each one. There's another gateway there, which is just about to get warped in. There's a bunch of sentries, so pretty much just kind of on the full-on, half defensive, half offensive. Did get a number of hits in with that 26-kill Oracle from before, and now, here we go. It is time to move out with this interesting army of just kind of whatever. I think there are more sentries in this army than anything else. Yes, I'm right. There's only 2 Zealots, 3 Stalkers, 6 sentries. The Mothership Core, which I have not seen in quite some time. There's the Oracle coming over here, just doing a little bit of a snippet at the third base of Kevin. And I think the Mothership Core is still back in, is it in home base? Home base? I don't know. There's this one here. Where are you? There he is. There's the Mothership Core. Okay, cool. So this Oracle is just slowly taking these out. And there you go. What you do against an Oracle, because the Oracles can't shoot up either, so you just lift off your command center and then just leave it there. You just taunt it. Look, you got these little windows at the side. You can just kind of poke your nose at the windows and say things like, "Hey, look, Oracle, hey, you can't shoot me because you just got a pulsar beam, and all you can do is shoot downward, and sometimes decide to get into a Texas accent just when I feel like it." And this is one of those times. Now that the Oracle's gone away, he said, okay. He thinks I'm going to land right there and keep mining and get income. Jerk. No, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to wander over here where I can't make any usage of this building whatsoever and stay there. Oh, I love the scouting. With this amount of sentries, we could probably have... Oh, there's a scout. Where did that scout happen? He's apparently scouting his own base. Oh, no, wait. He is... Okay, there we go. So he is scouting down here. Does see a couple of Colossus up there on the ramp, but the problem is that the main bulk of the army is right here in the middle, so he doesn't realize that he's being quite a bitly outnumbered. There's the other one. Does scan. There we go. So I did make fun of the scans, but those are all additional pylons because Wookiee is on his way up to, oh dear, on his way up to a 200 supply army, and this is where Kevin is starting to move in, and actually the moment he hits that is, no, he lost the race to the Zelnaga Tower, but now what's happening is Wookiee does move himself away. Kevin still at 3-3 Marines. and not a medevac in sight. I guess, you know, you gotta wait for the 30-minute mark before you can actually start moving up to Tier 3. It's a 10-minute process. The first 10 minutes, actually, no, it's probably more like a 15. So the first 15 minutes are Marines, Bio, and Barracks, and then the second 15 minutes is, oh dear, blowing up, yeah, Void Rays, so that didn't really work too well. But this observer probably saw that coming, maybe, I would think. Where's the army right now? Oh, they moved up here. Okay, so just waiting for things to happen. You know, talking to my girlfriend, waiting for something to happen. It's a Radiohead song. You should all know about it. These 3 tanks of Orientar try to see an observer afar. They sieged up next to the tower. Then they got raped by Void Rays. Can you be raped with a beam, energy beam? Laser rape. That's my 80s hairband. That's 30 years too late. But here we go. Getting a little bit of high ground. Here is Kevin trying to maneuver his way in. Let's get back to the production tab and seeing that air weapons 2, getting into the forge. And this Oracle's a little bit out of place, and he's going to get shot. But that's okay, because the remainder of the army is going to chew through this because he's got Colossus. And so the Colossus are going to take out all the Marines, the Voiders are going to take out all the tanks, and I don't really care what happens to everything else, because the remainder of them, with all the Zealots kind of getting wandered in here in the back, and there it is. Kevin leaves the game. Kevin is defeated. So much for Kevin. That was the end of that. Wow. Oh, boring name, boring play. Kevin, build a starport, man. If you have a game that you'd like me to cast, send me an email, ziggityzig@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter @ziggityzig. There will be more of these from the Tales from the Ladder. And these will just come up whenever, and occasionally they will fly through, and they will just be completely random. Decided to have a random series. I need more random stuff in my life. This is how I like life to be. Yes, stay tuned.